about last year, which I'm blessed to basically have replaced myself with Jeanette. So now Jeanette is doing it full time, basically having replaced me in the I don't want to say management, but the overall running of the business. While
Okay.
I'm here on the outside, um, building it, if that makes sense. Like for example, like she was
Okay.
at Congress, she was taking care of my people while we were there. Um, all that types of stuff, which is obviously super important si queremos, tú sabes, mantener la gente juntos, you know.
Right.
Um, so yeah, so thank God that she's trusting Salsa Kings, the business, me enough to really, I mean, she's kicking ass, bro. She's amazing. Pero imagínate.
Indeed.
Aprendió conmigo, empezó con su salsa en 2015 at our auditions. Like that was her start.
Yeah, I think I remember like that. That's probably around the time that I remember seeing her for the first time.
Yeah, yeah,
2015. Well, late 2015.
yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, she was at Salsa Kings' first performance at Miami Salsa Congress. She performed with the student team um, at our first. I guess you could say debut. We had our student team, and then we had uh, our company. Doing their
Yeah.
performance there. That was 2015. Y tenemos todos esos videos y todo um, on YouTube and all that types of stuff.
So that was the first show was 2015 at a
Our
Congress.
first show, Salsa King's first show, was in 2015. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean that
Porque yo no quería
is
subir,
consistent with what
porque
I
yo no
remember.
quería subir con rueda básica. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like yo entendí, yo
Yeah. I
respetaba
mean,
lo que es hacer un show. Um, and we finally had the leadership to make that happen because honestamente, I'm not a choreographer para nada. I know my
right.
place. I know my place. I'm here behind the scenes. I'm negocio. I'm creating content. I'm making connections, vendiendo. Pero artista así, no, no sir.
No, not like that. Social dancing.
Yeah, me encanta bailar. If you want to say like, I don't know, like your parents, you know what I mean? Like they just bailaban por disfrutar y
Right.
ya. This just so happens to be my business that I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to run with this, and voy a parar. Yo tengo mucho
But did
tiempo.
you ever perform on stage or
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did, but never
you
as
did?
like the front guy or ni nada de eso. It was always I was always the help or whatever, the guy in the back, or I was probably of the better half only because I've just been doing it longer than everybody else. But again, I know my place. Like no, for
Okay.
someone who's been doing this for 16, 17 years, well, 2004, so 19 years, bailando por 19 años, like no. Again, I really, really enjoy it. Se nota, you know.
Let, let me tell you,
Pero
man, it's difficult. It's difficult to be the front guy of a or front girl of a dance team. Like to
absolutely,
be the choreographer. I mean, I'm telling you, I dance. I have been dancing and I have been performing, but I have never been the one directing the teams.
right,
So and I have I have tried to mount choreographers, but it's difficult. It,
right.
it, it
It's
requires a certain personality that some people
exactly.
have it, some people don't.
There's there's like a story or a quote that I heard that I was like awesome. It was a coach, like a basketball coach. I'm not sure if you've heard this before, but he says he was like, okay, um, you have all my star players. You know, um, the first team, team one or whatever, the starters goes against the second team, right? And obviously they played, and then the starters obviously beat the second team, right? And then he told the starters, okay, I want the center to be the guard. I want the guard to be the forward. I want the forward to be. So they switched all the positions, and the second team crushed them, because tenemos que respetar las posiciones de cada uno. Everybody is in their right place. And as I always kept that in mind, and yo me quedo en mi lugar, and yo trato de
Yeah.
reclutar a gente that is obviously good for the team para crecer y ser lo que queremos ser, you know.
Right. I
But
think
yeah.
I've heard that. I heard something along those lines regarding the NBA, the Dream Team.
Uh huh.
Apparently, the coach, he put I think it was the Dream Team to play against the college All Stars,
Okay.
but he created mismatch. So apparently, or not apparently, I mean, it was. I guess it's a fact that the college team beat the Dream Team,
That's
and
possible that's the
they
story that I'm
did.
talking about.
They didn't let those news out of the arena because of all the commotion that it will create. But
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
I
see.
don't know how he did it, but something like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Es posible que that is the story, or mine is like the watered down version of that. But yeah, because es verdad, bro. Not everybody can be good at everything, you know. But that's what makes it
Yeah,
so awesome. You know, es como tener that collaboration, which go figure is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Is we end up meeting people, right? That are, even though we enjoy the same thing, that we're all have different gifts, that we're all very different, special
yeah.
in that kind of way, Um, pero aparentemente tú y yo somos más iguales que
Sí, nos
that.
parecemos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's super interesting. I would never have thought. I mean, a lot of people tell me the same thing, and it's in deal like, what? You're introverted, or that you don't like to be around people?
That's a weird thing, man. I mean, I say that I'm an introvert, but como que como que eso no está set in stone.
Yeah, también.
Pero yeah, I fit the ¿cómo se dice? The quality. So I guess you're just like that too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they say that supuestamente, obvio, no? Introverts recharge when they're alone. Extroverts recharge when they're with people. So
Right.
es
That's
como
what I heard
sabe,
too.
es como like, okay, if I'm tired, do I want to go out or do I want to be in the house? That's more of like where it is, because a lot of people are like, oh my god, I'm so fried from work, I gotta go to happy hour, or whatever, like conectar con gente y eso cosa. Um, so yeah, for me it's like, no, me quedo en la casa así rápido, and then
Sí.
yeah, and then if I want to get crazy or whatever, invito a la gente a la casa y rumbiamos, That's
Tú ves,
more.
pero then that breaks the rules of being an introvert because you actually do enjoy like, having people around,
Oh, for sure. But again, it's more
which is
of
the
the
case with me too. But
right. But it's more of the like when you're tired, like when you want to recharge. What's more of the decision? Or so they say, But yeah, bro, like super penoso growing up, super penoso. It wasn't until I actually started taking classes, which again we'll talk about in the episode, but when I was 16. When I was 16, una muchacha ahí al lado in biology class, I was going to high school in Weston, y me preguntó, um, hey Andrés, will you come to salsa class with me? And I'm like, yeah, estaba buena, una venezolana, estaba buena.
no, see.
And then she whips out a Salsa Kings card. And I'm like, Jesus, in Miami? Like, holy, and this is back when it was FIU. And
So you were in Western, and she gives you a card to go Salsa Kings in like what, like Grand Center, FIU?
yes, sir.
or wherever they were located at the time. And I don't
Yeah,
know,
no, FIU at
but
Graham Center for sure.
FIU. Okay.
Y ni sabía que existía the turnpike. Bro, I would
Damn.
take Chrome down antes que tenía luces. Bro,
Y que
ahí
fuera.
cagándome, bro, freaking going down to class, and sometimes I would bring, 2 or 3 girls, because obviously the girls in Weston, they salsa class, oh my god, I want to go. So eso fue fácil. Y ahí, like, that's how everything started. That's how the confidence started to build. Ahí estaba, I'm sure you remember these names. Lázaro el Negro,
Yeah, man, for sure.
Javier,
Right.
Danilo, Luis el Alto, obvio
Luis,
Elba,
que ahora le.
Sí, ahora él está
Yeah, I
enseñando
remember all of them. Sasafina, right?
con Fina, exacto,
Yeah.
which is super cool. So, just super, 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 super interesting. I think I saw Lázaro. Last time I saw Lázaro, it had to have been, gotta be like four
Yeah,
or
he
five
goes
years
out
now.
like sporadically,
Yeah,
like to see him
imagínate,
out dancing. I mean, it's an event.
imagínate. Yeah,
He has. I think he has two girls. I don't know if he has
yeah,
another
yeah,
one because I
bro.
haven't seen him in a while. So,
Right, right, right.
but last time I checked, he had two.
Do you have
So it's a
kids yet
little
or not?
difficult to. Huh?
You have kids yet or not?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, okay, okay.
Not yet.
Cool. Are you planning?
Yeah, no, it's in the plans.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. Yeah, bro. Yeah, yo quiero, poof, I want to have as many as I can afford. Imagínate tú.
Y ahora hay que ver cómo, like how the situation would be, like having a kid and having to manage between, what we do,
Right.
or like trying to keep the lifestyle. Which I mean, I don't go out as often as I used to. I don't know, like 5, 7 years ago.
Claro.
But even the little time that I take to go out and dance, I mean, it will probably be difficult having a kid
Oh,
or
I'm
two.
sure. I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Yeah, so I'm trying to do everything that I can. Like, por ejemplo, we do our classes live on YouTube every night. So the idea is when it becomes more normal for people to cast their YouTube videos on their TV, because a lot of people do that. Pero cuando coge más, like the idea is, bro, we have over 790-minute classes, full classes, de gratis, there on YouTube. El audio perfecto, el video perfecto, el ángulo. Se puede
Also, there's no
aprender
there's
ahí.
no there's no membership to be able to access
For the
these
YouTube
classes
channel, no.
remotely.
Nope. For the YouTube channel, no.
Okay.
Lo hacemos de gratis. We're monetizing. We monetize on our YouTube
Right.
channel. But yeah, bro, I mean, more than anything, it's just, awareness of the brand. Eso no cuesta nada a nosotros poner ahí, boom, go live y
The
empezar a
advertisement.
grabar. So estamos, pensamos
Awesome.
siempre por el lado de estamos ayudando a la gente, you know. And we're getting, and yeah, subscriber count is climbing y suave. We have a little bit more aggressive strategies now that we're going to be doing, which is exciting. But yeah, just always, again, just trying to help people out, para gente como tú, la esposa, etc. That, okay, let's dance. Well, let's take a class, whatever. We already know how to dance, pero vamos a aprender una vuelta nueva, whatever. Boom, and you put it up on your TV, you put on your surround sound, y dale la música, boom,
Yeah, that's
which is
awesome.
which is cool. So we're just as long as we keep going, poquito a poco va cogiendo traction. However the hell you say
Okay.
that in Spanish.
Now, are you guys teaching the typical Miami syllabus, or you guys are doing like something similar, or like the MSSA, or?
We're completely different. We're using MCC to teach our own format to teach to do pareja, and it's not even casino. It's not LA. It's not New York style mambo. It's salsa. It's what the general public goes in and says, I want to learn how to dance salsa. We do that. I'm talking about los
Okay.
pasos de lo más básico. Tú sabes, una enchufa por atrás. Maybe we'll do como un 70 moderno that will end up, a turn on the 5, 6, 7. Ooh, and un sombrerito, open break, underarm turn, dip. ¿Me entiendes? And then
Okay.
as we start opening up new locations and that whole deal, then we'll start with the teams y la cosa más avanzada. But as you know, there's a lot more beginners than there are advanced people. I don't want the advanced people. Keep them.
Man.
I don't want them. We're proud to say that a lot of good social dancers now in Miami have come from or have a base of Salsa Kings. Obviously, they go and they continue learning elsewhere, and that's perfectly fine. Pero como el conocimiento de the strictness of listening to the music, connecting with the music, connecting with your partner, todo lo intangibles en lo enfocamos con lo principiante, and they don't even know that we're like putting it in there, because no enfocamos las vueltas para nada. Cada vez, I tell all my instructors, I do not want you to come prepared to class. Like, you need to go there, you need to do 2-step, 3-step, see who's following along. If the class is more advanced, tú tienes que inventar algo ahí en el momento. And let the class know that you just made it up. Like, como ese es el punto, para que ellos saben that it's not a big deal. The point is not for me to memorize this, it's for me to have fun, pero conectar con mi mujer y llevarla, igual con las mujeres. Because if you teach the girls what they're supposed to do, lo van a hacer.
And they will back lead.
You know what I'm saying? Lo van a hacer sola sin el hombre, and that's not what social
Right.
dance is.
That's not the point of it.
In my opinion, in my opinion. So completely different. But we use MCC as a way to teach it easier. We don't really reference MCC so much, other than the instructors. When we're in instructor training, absolutely. They know what they're doing.
The reason I asked is because I remember when Melanie, my wife, remember that she was taking some privates with you, and
Yes.
I remember that you post out the little choreographic.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's called, but it's the map. I was like, oh shit, like you're doing that.
For sure.
And I think it's cool. I think it's a good idea.
Yes, I just wish the delivery was better, for lack of better words. I wish the delivery was better. Pero eso no va a parar a mí de seguir aprendiendo. For in every way that I can explain it, he has been the biggest sweetheart to me. Like, bro, like, I was taking privates with him. I ended up sitting down with his family, una mesita así. Him, his wife, his 3 girls. Like, and I'm amazing food, obvio, because they're Cuban. ¿Me escuchas?
Okay. Se rompió un poquitico ahí por un momento.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there with his family having dinner. I think it was like the first private class or the second private class. Like, just super welcoming, super warm. He just has a problem with people acting or pretending like they know how to dance, or selling themselves like they know how to dance, and they don't.
I like what he's doing. And I think that he knows what he's delivering. Like, he has,
Well,
he knows his shit, basically.
Right. Al final.
Now, like you said, the way he delivers it, that's
right.
Personal style.
Right. Como él va.
Mira,
gotta love him.
A la gente a la gente se le olvida cómo eran las cosas.
Yeah.
Pero,
you gotta have, for those types of teachers,
you gotta have
tough skin.
Thick skin. Yeah.
Eso mismo. Yo, escogimos, we did Afro-Cuban. We did an Afro-Cuban workshop with Marisol and another teacher. And igual, bro, she doesn't play, dog. She don't play.
Fuerte.
Yeah. And which, again, I love it. It's like, coño, because the difference is, I'm there to learn. Otra gente están ahí para disfrutar. And I'm like, there's a difference. There's some teachers that are there for people who want to learn, and then there's other people that are there for people for who want to have fun. Obviously the best.
Me imagino que Marisol sea una instructora que está ahí para enseñarle a la gente que quieren aprender, ¿no?
Absolutely, like a good dance teacher, and it's funny too, because back in the day, like, I would take offense to students not paying attention. you know. Yo no sabía that they're like, because again, me, you know, of course, everyone is like me. Everyone signs up and pays for dance class because they want to learn how to dance.
That's
Right?
not always the case.
That's not the case. That's not always the case, right? So I've found obviously little by little, y supuestamente, I'm still got a lot of work to do, but my guys make fun of me all the time. It's funny. Pero siempre tratando de coger ese balance. And it was funny because that's what we spoke a little bit about in Ramani's episode that we did in episode 112. Como balanceando sabor y tradición. You know, the fun with the structure. You know, the balance of the two
Okay.
is really what Mary Poppins says. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. That shit hit me like a ton of bricks. Yeah, bro. You can deliver a message without being an asshole, for lack of better words. You know,
Okay.
and I'm talking to myself when I say that. You know, I just love it so much. I love it so much, and I'm assuming that others are the same. But not everybody takes it that seriously yet, right? You know, obviously it grows on people, which is
So you're saying that you have struggled like keeping your composure when it comes to students not meeting your expectations, I guess, of what
it's
you expect them to want from the dance,
correct,
which is
100%.
like
Only
for the sake of
because
learning and dancing.
yes, for the sake of learning, exactly. Only because again, my mindset was different then. I'm assuming that they want the same thing that I wanted was to learn. Now, apparently there's different rates in which people learn, right? How much tolerance that they have and how steadfast that they are in the material that's coming at them. I've spent literally my entire career trying to make things simple, digestible. So when I give you something digestible and you're choosing to not pay attention or you're choosing to not get or convince yourself que no puedo, then I'm like, okay, now you just don't want to be here. Or me está faltando respeto o hablando con el otro estudiante que sí quiere aprender. But again, that's all Marisol, Joel, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I've obviously been a lot more lenient now. Much more. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm much better now.
Let
Pero
me tell you,
estamos
you have to
hablando.
also keep in mind. You gotta keep in mind that some people also have like for example me. I tend to say I have ADD. Sometimes it's a little difficult for me to keep my attention. Or if I know what's coming, to have to be stopping every time they're gonna put it. Like I remember when I was in high school, like they were teaching me the term patterns, and they would do it. I was like, okay, I know how to do it. So you know how you teach? Say 1, 2, 3, stop.
Right.
Let me tell you what's gonna come next. But then the student may know what comes next, but then
Right.
you're making him stop. It's like, shit, we're stopping again.
Right.
Let me talk to the person next to me.
Claro.
But the person next to him or me maybe doesn't have the same.
Right.
It doesn't come as easy.
For sure. And
So then they
that's
tend to
where
they tend to distract.
absolutely. And that's where the dynamic and the experience of the teacher comes in because then you can start to add more advanced things for those that already know while still intrigued, like basically being it because that's how we do it. We have advanced and beginners. We don't have levels.
Okay.
We have beginners and advanced. We do a 90-minute class. Everybody's together y enfocamos la conexión. So beginners are dancing with advanced people are dancing with newcomers. And it's really, really healthy for them. They don't really know how healthy it is yet. But they end up
That they're mixed.
huge.
Yeah.
Because un avanzado no es avanzado si no puede ser una enchufa con un estudiante. Beginners. Punto.
Yeah, I guess you know that you are advanced or you're an advanced dancer when you can actually lead a turn pattern correctly, smoothly, cleanly with someone that doesn't know
That doesn't know.
what
Exactly.
he or she is doing. Well, in the case of Salsa, like
Literal.
turn pattern that she doesn't know how to
Exactly.
do.
Right.
But
Right.
then
And then
you're
that's
advanced,
where
so you
you
should be
actually
able to
have the
lead
lead
it.
and follow happening. And y ese es el punto in my opinion, of the social dance. That's when you can start to empezar de jugar de bailar. Oh my God, I'll never forget this. And I know we're starting a little bit late, but no importa.
Mm.
Elba being Elba. We were at a social y estábamos en esos socials que bailas más mambo. Mambo,
Okay.
mambo.
She was, and she was there.
Yeah, and she was there,
She was
right?
there.
So okay, bye, right? Um, and it was one of those that it was like outdoor events. It was one of those like outdoor events. So it wasn't necessarily a nightclub or whatever. So it más de playa, piscina, that type of deal. So it was nice, anyways. Una barra, sol, cool.
Okay.
El ambiente era bueno. And she's next to me and she goes, and we're just staring at everybody on the dance floor, right? We're just watching. And she goes, ay Dios mío. And I go, whatever. And she goes, mira esta gente que no saben bailar. My God, Elba, oh my God. Now,
Y eso es like
no,
super.
fuerte. And I'm like, oh my
But
God,
no.
qué pena. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody's there on time. Everybody's there. They're doing their thing. Pero what she was referring to was como todos eran como robots.
Yeah.
Haciendo. And that's what we talk about in our classes. It's like you don't want to have a bunch of material that you're just spitting out. Because that's what a beginner does in the beginning, at least the guys, right?
Well, that's part of the development, I think.
Right. Well, that's
You gotta learn some material before you can start like improvising, mixing and matching. Like different
100%.
patterns that you learned.
I agree. But then let's say that point is here. But the student thinks it's up here is basically the point. And I'm like, yo, look, mira, este enchufa por atrás se puede combinar con doble, con estilo y con el básico. Y tú puedes hacer eso la noche entera because everywhere else in the world, social dancers, si no están cogiendo clases, that's all they know anyway. Like, ¿tú me entiendes? Como like basically bringing the standard to a point where si tú estás con la música, si tú estás disfrutando con tu pareja, ya están ganando. Ya eso es todo. And then you can start to practice actually playing. Claro, siempre está aprendiendo cosas nuevas, ¿no? Pero como like relajando la mente. I think I lost you. Mic check 1 2. Carlos! What's going on, everybody? For those of you that are watching, we just lost our guest. He'll probably be coming back on soon. Shoot us up in the comments. Let us know what you think of the pre-show so far. We're going to be getting on right now. Welcome. As a matter of fact, I'll probably go ahead and start right now. That's probably a good idea. Okay, porque ya están entrando. Perfecto. Cool, don't go anywhere, guys. Yeah, he's back. Okay, perfect.
Te perdí, my bad.
No, you're good.
¿Me oyes?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Oh, ahora cambió la pantalla. No, es que me entró una llamada. I don't know if there's a way to prevent calls from going through.
No worries, brother. Wait, if you do that, you come right back in, and that's not a problem. Y aparentemente cogió otra llamada. That's not a problem. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get this show on the road here. All right. Let me go ahead and hide this screen here. Perfecto. Familia, what's going on? Andres Fernandez here. We are here for episode 114, Break the Ice, with a good friend of ours, longtime salsero, Mr. Carlos Cardo, one of the salsa lovers OG, triple OGs. To tell you a little bit about this man, he has, growing up in Cuba, Cuban social dancing parents, which, as you know, is absolutely huge when it comes to your influence in starting up in a dancing career in general. Dancing Rueda Casino for over 20 years. Again, at 7 or 8 years old, already watching his parents dance, knowing what it is to see people having fun, playing with the music, with each other, connecting with other people. Lots and lots of fun. So obviously experiencing that from a young age definitely gives one an advantage. Teacher and performer for over 18 years Salsa Lovers Company member from 2009 to 2011. Danced alongside Miss Denise Cambria, Alejandro de Armas, to name a few. Has been social dancing ever since and is an absolute connection expert and an amazing person overall. For those of you that have been watching on the pre-show, definitely really, really good stuff. Feel free to go ahead and give a little rewind. If you want to watch the pre-show, guys, for those of you that are listening to the podcast, hop onto our YouTube channel. Go ahead and search Salsa Kings Live, episode 114, and you can check out some of the pre-shows. We talk about some of the nitty-gritty of some of the stuff that we can't necessarily say in the audio version. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring this man on. But first, I want to go ahead and give a shout-out to our sponsor, My Dance Shirts. Guys, this is a beloved sponsor of ours who is designing shirts for you, by you. So if you have a shirt idea that you want to be able to represent and wear yourself, we actually just got in a request from somebody that they wanted to make a crop top that said "Dip Me" for one of the ladies. So that came out awesome. That was actually released today. So go ahead and check that out, mydanceshirts.com. We got these Miami Heat inspired culture shirts. We developed a line. We did a cardinal red, trophy gold, and white. They look super, super awesome. So absolutely go ahead and check that out. Not only is there obviously Salsa Kings gear, but general stuff as well in salsa, bachata, and other dance styles as well. So we're going to go ahead and bring Carlos on, and so we can go ahead and get this show started. Señor Capitan Carlos, can you hear me, sir? Whoop, whoop. Audio, mic check 1 2. One moment, please. We cannot hear you, brother, but it's okay. Go ahead, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, and we'll go ahead and bring you on back. Mic check. Can you hear me? Oh, we lost our guest one more time. No problem. Seems like he's getting calls. He's a busy man. See, I told you guys. I've actually been working on getting Carlos for a little bit now. We saw each other at Casa Tiki a few weeks ago. Shout out to Casa Tiki and Dixon and his Casineros Rueda Congress that's going to be coming up in 2024. So go ahead and check that out, guys. Casineros Rueda Congress. We saw them at their social at Casa Tiki in Little Havana. Reconnected with Carlos and was lucky enough to be able to invite him onto the show. My brother, I think we're good now. Can you hear me?
Now?
Creo que sí. Yes, sir.
I can. Okay. This is
okay. Perfecto. Awesome, man. Thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate you. Oye, and manda ese mensaje de texto. Say, yo, I'm in a podcast right now. I'm busy. Go ahead. Unless that's mom, then you need to pick that up.
My parents were calling and I had to text them, but every time the call comes in, I decline and then you go on mute so I can hear anything that you're saying.
Oh, jeez. So, okay. All right. No worries, man. Well, thank you again.
I'll reconnect.
Yeah. No, tranquilo. Perfecto. Cool, man. So do us a favor, brother. Let us know a little bit about who you are, man. Who is Carlos Cardo? Why are you so awesome? And how did you get those blue eyes so that we could go ahead and take notes and we could go ahead and take advantage of that as well, brother? I'll give you the floor, man.
Oh, the blue eyes, man. Neither my dad or my mom have blue eyes.
No me diga eso, brother.
Hijo de lechero.
Increíble. Wow. That's funny.
But yeah, so I was born in Cuba in 1984, 38.
Yeah.
I left Cuba when I was 7. Lived in Venezuela for 5 years, and I have been in the States since 1996. I have been dancing salsa, since I was 9 years old.
Tell us a little bit about because I'm a big fan of the kind of like the setting of your parents, you as a kid, growing up in an environment that allows you that's okay. So like for me, I didn't hear my first salsa song until I was, I think, 12. So you get an idea, and it was, I'll never forget, it was my dad who bought the Willie Chinito CD for my mom that had the cumpleaños song on it, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he played it in our CD player, la casa, whatever, and it was playing there. I didn't know what it was. Obviously, I recognized it afterwards. But tell us a little bit about that dynamic, or what you can remember. If it was just family, or if it was friends coming over too. How was all that? What was that perception like?
Well, in Cuba, as far as I remember, it was like probably 1989, 1990. I remember my parents hosting parties at the house.
Nice,
Now, if you ask, when I was in Cuba, like I would have known what I was listening to was salsa.
right.
I have no, I have no clue what,
Eso es
what the
música.
music.
Eso es música. Yeah.
To music by Dandén, Los Bambán, NG La Banda,
Right.
Banda Meteoro, creo que se llamaba. There was a band back there, back then that was pretty famous. But yeah, I don't remember that music being called salsa. I don't remember. I don't remember the dance being called casino. I was seven, eight. So
Right.
I came to know about the music when I got to Venezuela, and there was a show in Venezuela called Sábado Sensacional, and they used to play a lot of Puerto Rican salsa. They used to invite a lot of Puerto Rican artists, and that's where I came to know the music.
Nice.
Right now, it was in Venezuela where when I remember seeing my parents actually like dance casino. What I then came to know in Miami. I didn't know in Venezuela that the dance that they were doing was called casino. But then in Miami, I used to go to their friends' house, like a birthday party, and they were dancing, and then people would come up to me and ask me, "Oh, do you know how to dance casino?" I was like, "What type of name is that? Casino?" Like, no, I don't know what that is. They would say salsa, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, salsa." But it was, I learned in a very homey atmosphere.
Nice. Lo mejor. Lo mejor. Nice. Okay. Cool. So then, when you went to Venezuela, from when you were how old to how old? Más o menos.
Yeah, I lived in Venezuela from, since I was, from 7 to 12.
From 7 to 12. Okay. Okay.
I was
Nice.
from 19 to 1996, late 1996.
Nice. Okay. So then ya empezaste a bailar ahí, entonces.
Yes, the basics.
Right.
I think I learned to keep the rhythm of the music in Venezuela. And the group that comes to mind is the Venezuelan group called Guaco, which is not really, I mean, you could consider that salsa, but it's like a weird type of salsa. It's like timba, but no timba, salsa, but no salsa. Gaita Venezuela, really, like, they had like their own thing going on.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's the music that I remember starting to dance with.
So then from there you come to when you come to the States, is it Miami that you come to?
Yes, Miami,
Okay.
1996.
In 96, and you're 12 at that point.
Correct.
And then you were telling me in the pre-show que como que todo like started back up again when you were in high school in Braddock.
Yes, when I decided, when I took the step to make the move to go to class, that's when I was in 11th grade.
Okay.
Okay, like I'm gonna follow you guys, my friends, to salsa class.
Nice.
I had to stay. Like, it took me a while because I knew about the salsa club in high school from the time I started high school, ninth grade, until 11th. But it was in 11th grade that I decided to stay after school. I didn't like to stay after school. It's like,
Right.
why?
Right.
Do you play
Absolutely.
video games, basketball? I'm not gonna stay
Right.
in
What was the tipping point in 11th grade that got you to stay? Like, what was the deal breaker?
So I met a friend who lived very close to school, and she was going to class, and she convinced me to go, and that if I went, then I could go to her house and wait for my parents to pick me up. Okay, so I could go to class, I could socialize with you, and then I could go to your house and wait for my parents.
There you go.
Like, my parents also worked, so there was no way if I missed the school bus to take me home, the logistics,
Right.
it wouldn't if I decided to join in ninth grade. I
Nice.
guess conditions were perfect on
Right.
11th grade.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. Everything's meant to be. Bueno, imagínate. Obviously, I'm assuming she became a good friend of yours, etc. etc. Because you guys were able to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah. This weekend she
But yeah, she was there this weekend
that I
at
haven't
Miami
seen.
Congress.
So so it's yeah.
Say that you cut it, brother. Say that one more time. She was at Miami Congress.
No. That we became very good friends. I mean, she was even in the Salsa Congress. She told me, she asked me if I was gonna be there. I was like, yeah, sure. So she passed by like a day to
Nice.
hang.
No, mira
But
para
yeah,
eso, brother. Mira para eso.
go back.
Tantos años. Yeah. Okay. So then, all right. So then now you're in high school. What's that club like? Because you said that it was somebody was a sponsor that started up the club there. ¿Cómo fue eso?
Yeah. So there was a teacher. His name, we call him Mr. Fernandez. I don't remember his first name.
Tremendo
So he used
apellido.
to Fernandez. Yeah, your family. Yeah. So he used to teach history classes, and I don't know how he did it, but he convinced the board to let him have a Latin American culture class in the sixth period,
Mira para eso.
right? Right. So anybody that knew that class exists, applied to that class. So I guess that in order to be able to get into the class, it was like a lottery, and I won it. Out of I don't know how many people that applied. So I mean, I was lucky that I was able to choose that class and be able to join it.
Nice. ¿Y qué
Imagine,
hicieron? ¿Qué hicieron ahí?
imagine that 12th grade, you have senioritis, you don't want to go to class anymore, and you only have to go to five classes because the sixth class is not really class; it's just like
Right.
dancing.
Right.
It was perfect.
Nice.
So we'll go in like a normal class. They would call attendance, and after 5 minutes, we'll put the desk to the side and start teaching rueda.
Mira para eso, brother. Una clase específicamente para rueda and it was part accepted in the Miami-Dade public school system. Qué
Yeah,
rico, brother.
I don't know if that's still going.
Gracias,
Hopefully,
gracias a Mr. Fernández, brother. No, ese es un monstruo. Nice. Okay, so then this happened. Then, ¿cómo?
no, a legend for the people that know him. I know that Denise Cambria. I think that she was part of Mr. Fernandez's.
También. Nice.
Yeah, there were some people that came out of that class, and they got really like involved in the dancing.
Nice. Bueno, imagínate, brother. I mean, there's no doubt about it, bro. I think that everybody that does rueda or experiences rueda immediately, they get hooked, bro. There's just so much. I mean, there's a lot of stimulation at the end of the day. Like what's happening is it's like call her over here and move over here and switch partners and connection and new people and new energies and it's like every 2 seconds and it's like whoa, like I would even venture to say that Rueda de Casino has got even TikTok beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because nowadays everybody there's hooked onto that. These quick dopamine shots. But Rueda does that. But you're able to. You're paying attention to the music. You're paying attention to the caller. You're keeping your timing of your feet. You're minding your partner. Ideally, at the end of the day, right? You're not throwing each other around, or at least not in the ideal scenario. Yeah, dude, it's. I mean, I don't gotta tell you, bro. We love this thing.
At least in my case, when I finally learned, I was able to execute a dile que no and go straight into the following turn that they called. I was like, holy shit, I did it. I
I
did
made
it.
it. Nice. No, de verdad. And for me, it was definitely a slower run as well coming up. Say that last part for me again. I think I was cutting you off there. I think there's only one audio that goes. It seems like at a time. So say that for me one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no, no. That when I was finally able to execute the dile que no followed by the following term pattern that they called, like I felt like realized, like I was like, oh shit, I did it. I know how to do it. I know how to do this, and I couldn't stop after that.
Yeah. Realized. I like that word. I felt realized. That's what's up. I like that. Okay, so then from there, you went to college?
Yes,
Okay.
I. Oh no no no. So I went to Miami Dade College for a year and a half, and then I transferred to UF.
Okay.
In UF, I joined Salsa Caliente Dance Studio in Gainesville. I mean, there's another one in Tampa, but this is a separate studio in Gainesville, directed by Darren Stewart. So I started teaching there. I told Darren, I know how to dance casino. I mean, I have been doing this for 3 years. I just need a little, instruction on how to teach. And he gave me the opportunity, so I spent the whole 4 years of college teaching in Salsa Caliente,
Mira para eso.
Gainesville.
Mira para eso.
And it was there where I did my first performance with the group that he and another dancer, Roy Hernandez, founded. It was called Savi Salceros. That's where I did my first show,
Nice. And how old were you then, and what year was that?
and where I learned how to dance LA as well.
Ah, ya. ¿Y qué año fue eso? And how old were you again?
I was 20. I was 20. That
Yeah.
was 2004.
Nice. Nice. 2004, ya. Eso, ya. Imagínate, familia, que eso fue cuando yo empecé. De cero, de nada. Y este monstruo aquí ya está poniendo en tarima.
Ya, 3 años nada más, 3 o 4 años nada más.
No, dude, no, that's awesome, man, and definitely the that experience is a there's nothing like it. Imagínate, Jeanette, our partner, hay gente que vive por eso, literal, para hacer shows y hacer performances, man, and eso da un sentimiento que it's a sober high, for lack of better words, wild.
Nerve wracking before you get on stage, but when you get off stage, that you finish the performance, like, wait, that's it. It's
Yeah,
like 30 seconds. Can we do it again?
yeah, yeah,
That's the feeling.
yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. I loved it. The time that I did it, it was amazing.
So you get back from college. You're teaching this whole time. You got your feet wet in the performance realm.
Right.
Um,
So I graduated in 2008 and moved back to Miami. And then in Miami, I decided to get involved in the Miami salsa scene. And Alfredo Rodriguez, he had
Alfredo, ese es otro. That's right. That's right. Of
OG.
course. Yeah.
He had started a group called Project Generation.
Yo
That's
me acuerdo.
2008.
Yo me acuerdo.
And I did their
Indira.
Indira. Yes, I never got the chance to perform with Indira. I think Indira. No, I think Indira danced for Salsa Lovers, directed by Alfredo.
Uh-huh.
But that was a little bit later, if I'm not.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, so 2008, I joined Alfredo's Project Generation, and I did one show with them in the Miami Salsa Congress, '08.
Creo que estaba ahí. Yo estaba ahí mirándote, brother.
Yeah, it was like this jungle theme. We were dressing like, I don't know, Tarzan. Like we had this Tarzan attire
Yeah.
with eyeliner, the whole makeup.
Nice. Nice.
Good
Sí, sí, sí,
experience.
sí, sí, sí. Cool. Yeah. Good. Okay, because creo que también, I don't know if that's another group now. Um, Indira bailaba con Marcos, ¿no?
Yes, I think that was Salsa Casino by Ramani and Henry.
Ah, okay, that's where I'm crossing. Okay. Yeah.
I think.
Right. No, imagínate, no. And for me, Yeah, because Yaya had already taken. I had already taken over the academy, and as you know, I was telling you guys. I was just telling you that our first performance at Miami Congress finally, when we started to actually pay attention to the performance realm of everything outside of the social dance, because um, as we talk about, actually, let me get the specific episode number. Um, there's a big difference between a social dancer and a performer, right? Or a bailador and a bailarín. Um, and I'll get the episode number later, but um, that concept is such a big deal. Yo lo respetaba tanto that it wasn't until 2015, which apparently was 7 years after that you were already making your performance, that we actually got up on stage at Miami Congress with a student team and a and a pro team. So that's awesome, man. That's huge. También al lado de me dijiste Alejandro and Denise Cambria, ¿verdad?
Right. So yeah. So after Project Generation, Alejandro told me that he was trying to do something, and we tried to mount a choreography, but that wasn't with Denise and at that moment Naive. It
Naive,
was just
right?
me and him. We tried to do a show with Indira Solana, but that never materialized. We never did anything. So it wasn't until 2009 that Rene Gates, I guess he called Alejandro and he said that he needed to create a new team because I think the old Salsa Lovers team had disintegrated. I don't remember the details. I don't remember if what I'm saying is accurate.
Right.
But basically, in 2009, Rene needed a team. Alejandro called me. I was like, Carlito, are you willing to do something? I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Nice.
So Nadia and Denise were available. They joined, and that's how we started the Salsa Lovers team. Which so we did a first show, Alejandro and I, Denise and Naibi, and then for that same choreography for the next Congress, I think we performed the first time in the New York Salsa Congress 2009. And then for the following Congress, then Alfredo Rodriguez and his ex-wife Samantha joined us, and that was the team from that point on till 2011. Which at that time, I had to quit the team because I had to move to Washington D.C.
Oh wow. Okay.
The team broke up, at least the team as it was at the moment. But then after that, I think Alfredo got the reins and he continued directing it,
Right.
and Alejandro his own thing.
Nice.
Alfredo and Denise continued and that's when Indira joined the Salsa Lovers team.
Yeah.
If I,
Okay. So
but I
then
was already out of.
right. You were already
Um,
out when she came in.
Say that again.
That you were already out of the Salsa Lovers team when Indira came in.
Correct. Correct.
Porque Indira enseñaba with me after that she had actually left Salsa Lovers. So
Oh,
para ver cómo fuera la cosa. Um, definitely an interesting timeline. And as I'm talking to more of you guys, I'm kind of piecing it all together of kind
yeah.
of how everything was staged. Um,
You got a timeline. That's the good thing about like listening to the old timers. I was listening to the episode that you had with Ramani. I was like, oh, so that's what happened.
yeah.
Things that I didn't at that time. I wasn't involved.
Right. So right.
But
So
it's
right.
all
So you're getting the experience of right before you, the same thing that
correct.
yo estoy haciendo. Right. 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 Kind of how
Correct.
everything's staged up. Um,
So I like to talk to those people that came before me to just know how the Miami salsa scene was back in the 90s, 1990, 1994. So I
yeah.
have talked to Rene, to Elba, and now, like the conversation that you had with Ramani also was enlightening in what was happening at that time.
For sure. For sure. Okay. So then what
So,
happened? Was that basically so you've been social dancing pretty much ever since then? Is that now after you ended up going to DC?
yes, yeah. So once I moved up to DC, yeah, that was the end of it. Well, not really, not really.
Okay.
Back in back in 2019, Alejandro called me again. It's like Kaka. By the way, they call me Kaka, Miami. Carlito, do you wanna do another show? That was 2019. I was like, hey, yeah, sure, let's do it. So we did it. We performed it twice, and yeah, that was the end of it. So 2019, that's 8 years after my last performance with Salsa Lovers.
Wow.
I realized I didn't have neither the commitment nor the energy to perform. So
Es fuerte, brother. There's no doubt about it, man. There's no doubt about it. Y por eso lo respeto tanto for all of you guys that are performing or want to perform. I mean, at the end of the day, see, that's the thing. What we were talking about in the pre-show, que todo el mundo tiene su puesto, right? That everything is hard for everybody for the exception of that thing that you're supposed to do, right? So for me, I feel like it's teaching, right? I'm not a performer. I'm not a, nada, But what I can do is comunicar con la gente y pasar información. I don't even have any information, right? Por eso estoy tratando de aprender todo para yo poder pasarlo, because that's what I can do. I have a little knack for, for business and stuff like that, but for sure, para todos los que están haciendo los performances, God bless your soul. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Keep working at it because it's tough. It's tough, como todo, but it's extremely, extremely rewarding. That I do know for sure. Y la memoria, brother, entre tú y yo, brother, la memoria mía está malísimo, brother. I could be working on a performance for 6 months y cuando yo subo, brother, I forget the whole thing, bro. Yo me ahí con una sonrisa. Oh my God, bro. I think I have messed up more performances than I've done right, bro. Honestamente, entre tú y yo. I'm not even kidding. Obvio, I get through it. But my point is, like, I know in my head, que, like, yo faltaba, It's just...
yeah, man. But in order for you to execute a choreography, a performance like flawlessly, the amount of time that you have to put into the practices, like you have to build the muscle, like muscle memory. Like it's not about. I don't think it's about memory as much as it is like actual. I don't know how to call it, like memory.
Yeah, it's muscle memory. You can't have it in your brain. Tiene que estar aquí en el cuerpo.
And that's something that when you're learning the show is like, damn, you question yourself and say, and ask yourself, will I be able to memorize like 3-4 minutes of a show? But then everything comes like once you're on stage, like everything comes naturally.
Right.
Now, don't mess up one part. You mess up once, that may be like forget it.
Yep. Facts.
Depending on the show with a long-term pattern, like you better don't forget that part. Not even one, because that would be.
Yeah, the muscle memory gets thrown off 100%. For sure. No, bro, absolutely right, man. Okay, so I guess transitioning now into today's topic, which is for those of you that don't know, all of our guests choose a topic that they're particularly passionate about, and Carlos and I actually ended up agreeing specifically on this one because my I guess you could say journey into the scene was very similar to apparently what is his, and I'll let him talk about it. Is that my social abilities as in general as a human being came because of all of you amazing salseros that welcomed me into the world and the whole deal. So thank you guys for that, and understand that it is extremely important, the same way that you were welcomed when you were new, that you begin to stretch out a hand and you invite or you offer somebody else their first dance as well, because you directly know how important that was for you. So for sure. So apparently, Carlos, that was the same situation with you. What was that situation for you? You said it was this girl in 11th grade, basically that she invited herself logistically to allow you to be picked up by your parents at her house, right?
Right.
So
that's how
See. So
No,
then from there, you're in the club. You immediately connect because by default, especially if you're doing rueda, you're literally touching these human beings, right? So you get to know each
Right.
other's name extremely quickly, etc. Tell us a little bit about that and how that kind of warmed you up to end up saying hi to someone else that you don't know later on, you know?
Right. So, I mean, I have my friends in school. I mean, in high school or school in general, it's a little bit easier to make new friends. You know, like you have many things in common, like classes, like this professor, like this class, whatever. And we used to have parties, and that wasn't an issue. But in terms of like meeting new friends outside of school, yeah, I don't know how that would have been if I didn't know how to dance. Like to me, dancing, salsa has been a blessing when it comes to socializing and making and meeting new people.
Seguro, seguro.
Yeah, when I joined the class, like to have to grab someone that I didn't know, grab someone's hand, someone that I didn't know. It's a little, what I say. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but nerve wracking.
Sure, intimidating, 100%. Si, no,
Yeah.
si nunca lo hacemos, if we've never done it before, how could we possibly know? And that's a huge thing for me when it comes to teaching, because muchas de esas cosas yo no aprendí nada de all of these little social norms and all this type of stuff. So por eso, like, I teach in our classes, we teach the guys how to ask the lady for a dance, to teach the guys to dip the lady at the end of a dance, to respect each other's space, how important those little intangibles are, because at the end of the day, that's what makes the difference. That's what makes the whole thing. Obviously, it's fun, the essence of it, but who you are comes through, right? When you're connecting with somebody for the first time, whether it's dance or not.
Right.
You agree with that, yeah? I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
that kind of carries over big time.
indeed.
Yeah, yeah. I can tell you for me, even to this day, to be super honest with you, like I'm not one to, you know, let's say, I don't know, if we're at a restaurant or whatever, and the table over there has got the ketchup or something, and para yo, ir para allá y preguntarle, like that for me that's rough, you know.
Yeah, man.
Obviously been a lot easier because of my practice in socializing and everything else, pero como todo es práctica, and obviously as we are able to get a lot closer, because we get close when we're dancing salsa, bachata, etc. Um, things are a little bit less awkward when we're just having regular conversation. But I think that initial, breaking the ice that we're talking about, right? That we all we got to do is do this, and then
Right.
ya el hielo ya se rompió. Um, but doing that, having that practice in doing that, maybe it's not like this, but it's with a hello or nice to meet you, or yo, that's a nice shirt, or you look nice today. Whatever the case is, I think that's always welcomed if it's coming from the right place.
The idea of having people in the same setting wanting to do the same thing that you want to do, like sharing something in common, makes it extremely easy. And I'm not saying it's always easy, because you have to also take into account like people's level of confidence. But at least that that awkwardness that comes with, like, oh, let's say that you're at a bar and you see someone that you want to approach. You don't know the reasons why that person is at the bar. So they have that fears, like, what if I approach this person and she just wants to have a drink, she doesn't want to socialize. I don't know. When it comes to dancing, like you're at a club or you're at a social, like the person is there to dance. So at least that esa faceta,
Right.
no tienes que lidiar con ese.
Absolutely, absolutely, and again, like you said, it may not be easy, but it's definitely easier. Just because, again, at the end of it, we're all connecting under a healthy basis, which is dancing, right? To awesome music, you know? And it's generally something that everybody there has at least invested a little bit of time or maybe even money to learn how to do this, you know? Which at the end of the day, you know, we're kind of humbling ourselves to put ourselves out there to be able to connect with others that have done the same thing, you know. And it's like, okay, let's see how we do, you know. Let's try and connect, which I think is really really cool. And per the subject or per the topic, the more that we can practice doing that, essentially the more it's going to be easy to do that in a scenario that's a little bit different, you know, that's a little bit normal. But I think it's also good what you said about the person at the bar who you may not know, right? So practicing that same connection, you don't necessarily know on the dance floor where they learned, right? But you want to consider them, you know, at the same time. I feel like there's a lot of parallels, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so what would you say transitioning to, I guess, passing on the buck, right? Passing on the message. What would you say is the most important part for someone new coming into the scene, who I guess you could say is like us, right? What should they focus on in particular? What should they not focus on? Perhaps that they are focused on it, and then you'd say, "Hey, look, don't worry about that. You know, focus on this." When it comes to connecting and meeting new people, whether it's in this Latin dance scene wherever they're located, or otherwise, right? Because I think at the end of the day, we want to be able to at least know how to break the ice with somebody, anybody, whether it's someone of the opposite gender or not. You know, I mean, we could all use a new friend too. At the end of the day, you know, it's saying what's up to the person next to us at the football game or the baseball game and talk about, you know, the score, you know, or if you're, you know, wherever, whatever, you know, I don't know, but obviously the scenarios are infinite.
So the first thing that will come to mind when it comes to approaching people that you don't know, you know, people that you would like to meet. When it comes to dancing, I think like to focus on the fundamentals and stuff that's easy, but things that are easy that the general dancing public would know how to do, and try to expand on you know on different styles. Like don't just focus on this style or that style. Like try to learn as much as you can to expand on the possibilities of reaching an optimal amount of people, if that makes sense.
That makes, wow. I'm gonna clip that. What time? What are we at? An hour and 8 minutes. I'm clipping that because that is literally, my brother, lo que empujamos nosotros. Llamamos eso los intangibles. It's the intangibles. It's all of the things. Okay, what do casino, LA, mambo, bachata, kizomba, tango, merengue? What do they all have in common? What makes a good follow a good follow? What makes a good lead a good lead? Right? What makes a gentleman a gentleman? What makes a lady a lady? You know, those types of, generally, because you hit it right at the easy things that are not so easy, right? The easy things that allow you to connect easier with the most amount of people, right? Dude, huge, absolutely. Give us some examples. What would you say are even some examples of that?
They're all saying like sometimes less is more. I'm talking about the complexity of the moves that you know. But in my experience, so I knew casino and I decided to learn LA and New York on two. That's like three different scenes that I can now exploit if I wanted to meet new people. And you don't need to know like the most complex moves, but just learn the basics of each style, and from there, like depending on how it goes, like you continue like the learning process. Like trying to learn more complex moves. But if you know like the fundamentals of each one, like you have a wide array of people that you can approach.
Right. You'll be able to connect. You will be accepted, right?
And I'm talking strictly about the salsa world. I mean, if you add to that, like you said, kizomba, souk, merengue, bachata, the possibilities are endless. Like the amount of people that are like within reach is huge.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, what would you say if you can give a list of those things? Some easy things that if you were to try and put pins on it. Okay. Um beginner student friend, enfócate if you were teaching, okay, if you were teaching a class now, or if you were on a podcast right now enseñando a los principiantes, óyeme, enfócate en esto específicamente, esto y esto.
So you're talking about moves that I would tell students to emphasize their learning on.
No, I wouldn't even say moves. I would say concepts. I call them principles that kind of carry over to absolutely everything. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Como la manera de, como ella se siente cuando tú estás conectando con ella, en la manera de que se aguanta la muchacha, por decir, sería una. Respetando espacio. Um, de no ser tan duro, pero también no tan suave, like, como that middle ground at the same time, ese tipo de cosas.
Okay. Yeah. One thing comes to mind is like the connectivity between you and the girl. I'm talking about from the guy's point of view. You gotta kind of like get a sense of the style, and I'm not talking about LA casino. I'm just talking about her not demeanor, but the way she wants to approach the dance. Some girls are like Ferraris. Like they can go from point A to point B in no time. So you have to be a little athletic when it comes to dancing. But some girls like they just wanna, they feel like they would like to take it easy and not rush into the turn pattern. So you have to get a sense of that. And when you're faced with that, like you shouldn't have to like you shouldn't feel like you have to force her into a turn pattern because that's how you were taught to do it. Just like try to accommodate to her needs when it comes to dancing and what she expects from the dance. And I think that I should be able to get the feel.
That is, brother, oro. I pinned that one too, bro. Amazing, amazing stuff. And what's amazing about all this, and this is why honestly, brother, this is why I'm doing the podcast, is because what you just said applies when you're talking about breaking the ice with anybody in general, right? It's just getting a feel for the other person, and then you meet each other halfway, right? It's I'm being myself, and I'm trying to mind you, right? And essentially at the end of the day, everybody wants to connect, unless of course they simply don't. But if you're in any social environment, that's we can at least assume that's the case. Maybe a little bit more challenging than in other times, but absolutely respecting where the other person is coming from. And you said a few key words that we promote, Ferrari and stuff like that. And I like to call it an energetic signature, right? How are they coming in? And because that signature can change, right? I mean, at the end of the day, how you feel in one moment can change to another, especially as these songs are changing, which have completely different energetic signatures of their own. Huge.
So that would be the word that you use, energetic feel.
Energetic signature.
Signature, right?
Signature. How do they identify? That seems to be the word of the freaking year. But how do they identify in that moment? And then you want to respect that in that moment, and then you share that space together. And what's cool is that what I found is that once you connect, then you end up becoming something together that you couldn't do alone.
Just that's independent of the person's level of dancing. You have very advanced dancers that have like this energetic signature. They go slow. It's like, no, I just wanna dance slow, like move my hips, like move my shoulders and enjoy the music, like be able to sing the music, right?
Right.
Could be an advanced dancer, and then you have another advanced dancer that is like, nah, I just wanna fly. Just wanna
Yeah.
fly.
Absolutely. Y
So
nosotros, as leads, it's funny because in the scene, a lot of people, obviously, you say that the lead is the one that's in control, right? But I like to call it server and guest versus lead and follow. In a restaurant, the cook is not in charge; the guest is in charge, right? So it's the server or the cook, right, should be creating the space based off of what the follow is asking for or the server is asking for. Does she want to fly? Well, then you better be paying attention enough to know that she wants to fly. If she wants to take it easy, then you should be paying attention enough to be making sure that she wants to take it easy. And then for the follows, obviously communicating that, not necessarily with words, right? But giving the server an opportunity to be able to serve, because I think we all want to do that as leads or as men, is to serve at the end of the day, you know. Pero absolutely, bro, right on the money, bro. And mira eso, bro. Ya estamos llegando a la hora. Yeah, huge. But huge nuggets. I've already pinned them. I really appreciate your time, brother. Is there anything else that you would say? Because I don't want to cut your flow either on other things that you would suggest for those that are listening. Because that one that you said about connection was huge.
no, we just say like continue. I mean, if you're currently taking classes, continue taking classes. Like the more you dance, the more you learn how to notice like these new, I guess, these nuances of the dance.
Yeah,
I mean, with experience, you'll be able to read better your potential partner, dance
absolutely.
partner.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree, brother. Yeah, práctica. La práctica es todo. Como todo, la práctica es todo. The more that you do, the more you're um, experiencing. Actually, that's the end of that sentence. The more that you're experiencing, the more that you'll be able to handle new ones at the end of the day. Because you're more familiar.
And style variety, dance variety. Like we're talking about the icebreaker. If you wanna expand that tool, like improve the tool, expand on your repertoire of dance styles,
Yeah,
and that should make it even better. Like
absolutely.
just to one thing. And I tell you, I mean, no, maybe not with everybody, but it may get boring after a while. So you wanna continue building on the things that you already know to keep it interesting.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Como siempre. I mean, I think we're always wanting to learn something new. There's no doubt about it. Keep things spicy, for lack of better words. Y siempre ponen arriba la salsita en la vida. For sure, man. Oh yeah, my dude. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, man. Amazing combo as I knew that we would have. Um, brother, we do a Miami salsa cruise in January. So this is going to be our third. The one that we just came back from, the second was amazing. We're not. I guess you could say, obviously comparable. I guess you can say to an Aventura dance cruise.
Okay.
Comparable, but not the same. A little bit more, and this is going to sound a little bit weird, but a little bit less on the like. It's not going to be Congress style. It's going to be more organic, en el sentido de. It's just going to be a bunch of salseros igual en ese sentido, pero haciendo lo que le da la gana. Obvio, there's going to be crazy parties, live bands, the whole deal. Eso no cambia. But
So when is it?
January. Actually, let me pull up the. the exact dates for you. In the end of January, MiamiSalsaCruise.com dice todo. Let me pull up the exact dates for you. I would love to have you on there, brother. That's going to be awesome. I know that I actually spoke with Moshe, and he's doing his last one.
I heard.
In November, which is huge. So we're doing ours January 21st to the 28th. So we're not. That's another thing. We're not a weekend. We're a week, which is huge. And obviously, we try to get that in as furthest in advance as possible. And we'll be doing workshops and the similar the same thing. But again, a little bit un poquito más orgánico, in the sense that people can really just do whatever they want. If people want to go hang out at the karaoke bar or the rock bar or whatever it is, that también lo pueden hacer. But we will all be salseros at the end of the day, that everybody kind of connects over there on the ship and stuff like that, which is really cool. So, está invitado, obvio, brother. We're actually doing the Carnival Celebration. So, the Carnival Celebration was the newest ship last year when we went, February of 2023, this past year. It was one of its first sailings. Bro, it's the one that has a roller coaster on it, bro. Una locura.
Okay.
Una locura. Y eso es lo que me preguntaste, ¿verdad? What ship is it?
No. I asked the date. So, de enero
21 a 28.
Al 28. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so that's awesome. Right now we're doing, actually, I think we have yet to announce it. So for those of you that are watching, you're the first ones to know. If you are a Salsa Kings member, we are actually waiving your ticket. So we are not charging to get on the boat. Obviously, you have to get your cabin. But as a Salsa Kings member, you are cordially invited, and you will not be charged. You will be able to get a 100% off your Miami Salsa Cruise ticket, which has a value of $300. Obviously, brother, you're 100% invited también. All you just need to do, you can go on carnival.com. You can go and get your ticket for that day, and we'll be there, which will be great. Obvio, if you're in our group, then you'll get the wristband or whatever para que puedas participar en nuestros eventos, etc. But of course, you're waived of the event pass also. And I'm trying to get all the old school there too. Obvio, I'm a little bit biased, so we're gonna be doing more Cuban music than anything, because I know a lot of these other events. There's a lot of mambo and a lot of bachata, and I love it. I do. But I think it's a little bit more tipped to one side versus the other. So we'll definitely be doing a lot of rueda and stuff like that, which is of course, we have a blast with that. So. Están invitados todos. Thank you again, my brother. I appreciate you very, very much. The audio version of this will be coming out in 2 weeks. Pero ya el video te lo puedo mandar ya por mensaje de texto. If you wanted to go ahead and post about it or whatever, también puedes hacer eso. But I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions for Mr. Cardo, now would be the time. Drop it in the comments before we log off. But I appreciate you all so much in your continued loyalty. Salsa Kings live episode 114. Break the ice with Mr. Carlos Cardo. My brother, again, you already know. I appreciate you, man. Have a great night, my brother.
Right, go. Are you guys still in 8th Street or?
Yeah, so we're on 8th Street and 139th. So okay. Before the pandemic, we were in the Bonefish Shopping Center. You were there. You went there, and now we're in the other shopping center on the other side of the LA Fitness.
Okay.
So we're in a little space there. Ojalá antes del fin del año we'll be getting back into FIU. So we're excited about that. We're really excited about that. Lanzamos. ¿Cómo?
At the Graham Center or a different location?
Yeah, probably in the Graham Center again. Yeah. As an extension. So yeah, we're excited. Lanzamos, I don't know if you saw the announcement. Lanzamos Weston last week, and I think we just got a date for Homestead. It's going to be the first Friday of October that we'll be launching Homestead now.
Wow.
Yeah, poquito a poco, bro. Poquito a poco, little spots.
Pues en a pasos de elefante.
Yeah, right. Amen. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So yeah, man. So we're gonna try. We're gonna invite all these people igual, y todos nos vamos para el crucero, brother. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast.
Perfect, man.
Cool, my
Sure.
brother. Awesome, man. Be good, brother. Have a great
Wait
night. Thank you again, man. I appreciate you.
for the invitation to come talk to you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Dale.